Okay, here we are at the first location. I just wanted to stop to make a point about some shocking revolutions that some people might not be aware of. But in my book, I talk about blowing directly at the deer. Right here, we have a really nice poplar tree that would take a stand up quite high, and then it drops down into a deep hole, and there's a pond back in. The whole idea is that with a northwest wind, we're blowing that way. All the deer coming around the pond are quartering into the wind to do so. And this is a completely wind-safe spot. As a matter of fact, I would say that, I can hunt that spot at 30 feet, but if a guy wanted to hunt right there at 20 feet because of the big drop in the slope of the ground right there, he's actually doing the same thing as if we were on flat ground and I was hunting at 35 feet. If you notice my bright colored shirt, my loud voice out in the scouting, my tennis shoes and not the conventional rubber boots, and a shocking new revolution that to constantly hide your human scent, to constantly hide your intrusion in an area that you're trying to manage, is exactly backwards of what I do. I actually intentionally leave human scent. I actually intentionally wear bright colored clothing, but actually this is the truth. Pressured deer respond to people who are trying to sneak in the same manner that deer in Africa that notice the posture of lions can tell whether they're getting ready to attack or not. So by reversing the psychology of our hunting and allowing the deer to smell us, hear us, see us, and leave scent, and then when they encounter deer that walk by here, we just jumped a couple of deer when we came in here, they are now going to encounter my human scent here all over this grass. Now I'm going to walk up in here, I'm going to leave it right here on this corner, and would do so every day during the season when I walk by here to go back to further hunting spots if I were planning on hunting this tree. And I'm not saying we are. I'm trying to make a point that by hunting very low in this tree and the ground sloping down and the water behind them, the deer are coming into the wind, following their instincts, are going to come around it, and they're going to end up somewhere close to bow range or shotgun range of this spot right here. So this is revolution number one. Do you really need to hide your scent? Do you really need to sneak? Do you really need to talk low? Are these things helping you or hurting you? Well, I've been doing it for years. I invade my bedding areas on a regular basis. I leave scent in my hunting areas on a regular basis, in places where I'm going to be leaving scent when I hunt. Now, does this apply when I go to stand? Absolutely not. Because at that time, I'm going to pass a much less scent that may be picked up, but hopefully not, and swap it off for intentionally left scent that they've encountered over and over and over again. And what I'm doing by doing this is I'm actually conditioning the animal to human presence in his area that he will encounter when I'm not here. He'll encounter it again and again, and he'll have no problems. And by doing so, I'm training the animal to not be afraid of me. So with that all said, let's get on to the next spot, because that's lesson number one as far as think about that. Do you really want to make the deer to where they never encounter it, so that when they do, they bolt at the slightest encounter of human scent? Or do you want to train their instincts to accept it and to possibly put up with it, to possibly cause them to have to instinctively react according to what their senses are telling them? As far as I've encountered huge amounts of scent here and nothing's ever happened to me. Now I get a slight whiff, and am I going to bolt? Well, I'll leave that up to you to decide. This spot has something that's special. There's two key features here that are going to turn this in from just a morning spot to a morning-evening location, because I think that there's just as good a chance of shooting a big buck here in the evening. The first thing I want to talk about is this is an excellent example of a light break that I talk about in my book. Sean's about 25 yards in that tree over there behind me. got runs dumping into this thing, and when they step up here into this place where there's no canopy, they're going from heavy canopy over here to heavy canopy here, but in this one strategic spot we have open light break. And so that extends his legal shooting light. You know, we're not going to hunt past legal shooting light, but illegal shooting light, as far as the time goes, actually can arrive before that time in the canopy of the woods. It can be too dark to shoot before they even say that it's illegal to shoot. So we want to take as much advantage of light as possible. I'm not suggesting we're going to snipe a silhouette. We are going to stick to the rules, but this offers us the maximum advantage of light. And so, with that said, right directly to this way, and this is what really grabs me about this spot, there is a bur oak acorn. And I have noticed that when those are falling, they'll leave whites, reds, just about every other acorn. The only acorn that I know that's superior to them is the pin. And I don't know as if we have too many of them in Michigan. We may have. I've never hunted over a pin in Michigan, but that doesn't mean they're not here. But this is a bur acorn stand with, like Sean said, the ag fields back over here. During the rut, during the dark period, you can come in here, and we are going to come in here, and we're going to go up high in some trees in here, and Sean's going to drop me off further back on a different crossing, similar to this, probably not quite as good, but you know, we're not out to see. You know, we're here to just team up 1-2 and get the buck. It doesn't matter who shoots him. And then I'll be down there about 100 yards or so, and he'll be here. And but this is a beautiful trap. We're going to come back. We're going to continue to lift the fence up. We're going to redress the barricade by pulling it up, tacking it, pulling it up, tacking it, and then stuffing branches and stuff in it to force them to this location on either side of my stand. We'll try to do the same thing if we can, and unfortunately I'm going to be stuck in the canopy, but that's okay. So this is a deadly spot because we have the creek entry, which is really good. We have the light break, which gives us and extends our shooting time, and we have a rare crop of probably 10 or 20 huge mature bur oak trees. And those babies drop, look out. You know, the deer are going to be coming here in groves. So what do you have here? You've got a great morning spot, you got a great evening spot, but you also have a wonderful all-day spot. Deer during the new moon and full moon phase, when majors fall in the middle of the day, will rise and get thirsty, come and drink, naturally travel a little ways and pick up on a few of these burrs, and you know, and then lay back down or come on and go back, and who knows what could happen in here. The chasing can get going. It's just like I say, who knows what could actually happen here. But this is one of the better spots that I've been at since I've been here. I like this, and we're not going to do anything here today, but keep it posted. We're going to call this the ditch crossing, where the bur oak buck is going to die. That's how you make it happen.